Hello students, so through this session also we'll continue with the last chapter of yours, that is a strange wrestling match. We had already done half of the chapter in the previous videos, and now we'll continue with the same, and it will be just concluded video. So as you know that Vijay Singh, the wrestler, he was actually quite you may say strong, although, but yes, he was fond of boosting, and because of that only he was in trouble, as he had to go alone to a haunted desert. So he met there a ghost, and the name of that was Natwar. So Vijay Singh was continuously showing his strength to Natwar, but still, so that Natwar also, he was quite actually afraid now, that how can I prove that I am a ghost and I am more stronger than a human being. So he is still in actually wonder. On the other hand, somewhere Natwar had decided that no, this way or that way he has to beat Vijay Singh, and how he will do that, that we will read here now in this video. So Natwar had decided that by cheating also he will defeat Vijay Singh. So he had made a plan actually, and what is the plan, that we are reading from page number 48. So here, as Vijay Singh is saying, that never heard of a ghost who can't see in the dark. So normally you know that ghost has some supernatural powers, they can see in the dark also, they used to be more stronger than humans, but actually Natwar was not. So as Vijay Singh remarked that, so that stone which you hold in your hand contains salt, crumble it and see. So just Vijay Singh is giving some another demonstration in front of that ghost. He is saying that whatever stone you are having in your hand, that is just like a salt only, as a lump of salt. So just squeeze it. So again, as he just challenged him, so the ghost was not able to do, because they were actually stones, and stones are used to be so hard. But on the other hand, Vijay Singh is playing cleverly, and he just put out a lump of salt from his pocket, and he just squeezed that, and that was just the sand, kind of sand, it was running out of his hand. So like that, Vijay Singh was giving continue demonstration of his strength there in front of ghost. So further what happened, I can see that you are not going to be a worthy opponent. What's the use of wrestling with a weakling whom I can floor into a minute? So Vijay Singh is saying that's fine, but I know that you are not that strong as I was thinking, and I don't think that there is any use to just fight with a weaker one, and definitely the opponent should be equal in strength. So saying, Vijay Singh casually crumbled the lump of salt and let the stone drop into darkness. So as I have told you that he just squeezed the lump of salt only. He held out his hand and commanded the ghost to taste the powder stone. And he's saying that if you are not believing me, then you can taste it. It's a kind of lump of salt only, but you are too weak. You can't actually squeeze that even. Mesmerized with the Pahalwan's extraordinary strength, the ghost did as he was told. Alarm shot through him. This man could easily vanquish him in a wrestling bout in the dark. So Natwar was very clear, the ghost was very clear that it will not be easy to fight with such a strong Pahalwan, and definitely in a minute only it will just lay me down. This man could easily vanquish him. Vanquish it, it can just make him dead, like only it can just finish him that time only. But perhaps he could be tricked in other ways. So now the ghost is planning that I should trick that person. Assuming a servile manner, the ghost said, "Friend Vijay Singh, it is an honor to meet a man like you. I admit to being defeated, but where will you go tonight? Rest in my house and you can leave tomorrow." So he just offered Vijay Singh, this is a trick only, and he's saying that I'm very much impressed, and already I'm accepting my defeat, but at this time at night only, where will you go? So definitely you just you are invited to my house, and just take rest there only tonight, and then tomorrow you can continue with your visit. Now thoroughly elated, Vijay Singh replied. Thoroughly elated means thoroughly happy. Vijay Singh felt happy, and somewhere he accepted. I cannot refuse your hospitality, but tomorrow you will go with me as my prisoner. So actually he put a condition, Vijay Singh. He said that I am very happy that you are inviting me. I will definitely come along with you. But yes, I have a condition that next day I will not return alone, but you will come along with me as my prisoner. I must display the trophy of my victory to my people. And why he wanted to do so? Because he was fond of boasting, as it is told in the beginning only, and he wanted to show to the people that he had captured a ghost there. So this was the plan of Vijay Singh. Now, what is the plan of Natwar? That we'll see here. The ghost fed him dry fruits and a lot of milk, and later led him to a luxurious bed to sleep on, complete with pillows and bolsters. So he was quite hospitable, really. So he just treated Vijay Singh well in his house, and he just fed Vijay Singh with dry fruits and milk, and then he just provided Vijay Singh a luxurious beds. Then Vijay Singh lay awake listening to the snores of the ghost. So Vijay Singh somewhere was not comfortable because that ghost was in habit of snoring. Snoring, whenever we sleep, then we make some noise out of the house. So that is called snoring. In the middle of the night, he slipped off his bed and he placed a bolster in the center of the bed and throwing over it a coverlet to make it look exactly like a sleeping man. Having done that, he is crouched watchfully in the dark corner. So don't know what he think actually. We are talking about Vijay Singh, that he just slipped out of his bed. He just went out of his bed, and bolsters were there, wrong kind that roll pillows used to be there. He just put those roll pillows on his bed only, and he covered it from upper side so that it should look like a man, and the man is sleeping, and that ghost should not be clear that Vijay Singh is not there at that time. So sure enough, just before the break of the dawn, the ghost approached the bed alarmed with a stout club. He brought the club down on what he thought was Vijay Singh's head. Not hearing even a groan, he smiled, pleased that he had killed his enemy. So as it was a time of dawn only, it was about to be morning, that time is called dawn. So that time that ghost just stood up, that time only, and he just take a stout club. Club means, that a big knife, and he just attacked that bolsters only, as he's thinking that Vijay Singh is lying there and he's sleeping, and he just attacked towards the head side so that the enemy should not be alive at any condition. He wanted to be confirmed that his that much strong enemy is dead now. However, just to make doubly sure, he struck the bolster 6 times more, and did not only one time, but he just struck the bolster almost 6 times. Satisfied with his work, he returned to his couch and, covering his hat, settled down to sleep again. And he didn't actually notice that, and he didn't see even that actually what was there inside that bed. So he just, after doing that, he just returned to his bed only. Meanwhile, Vijay Singh crept silently back into the bed. After a pause, he groaned as if it in disgust, threw back his coverlet and sat up. Disturbed by the noise, the ghost peeped from under his bedclothes to see the strong man stretching his arms above his hat and yawning. So when in the morning Vijay Singh actually just awoke with a yawning, so the ghost was also surprised that he had just struck that person almost 6-7 times, and still how can it be alive? For a moment the ghost turned rigid with a shock. So he was shocked. Friend ghost, there are insects in your cave, said Vijay Singh in a complaining voice, and here you comes this insects to trouble me. I distinctly counted 7 flappings of its wing. Of course, it was not bitten me, but it's most annoying. So just for the joke, Vijay Singh said that everything was okay, pleasurable, but one thing is there, that there are many insects here in your area, and almost 7 times they had bitten me, and I didn't actually feel much problem, but yes, that was annoying for me. It was disturbing my sleep. It took several, and further what happened, that the ghost was now the prisoner of Vijay Singh, and it was decided that he will go along with Vijay Singh. It took several camels from the village to remove the property Vijay Singh had acquired. So you know that many of the people were looted there also by that ghost Natwar. So along with that ghost, many other things are also there with that person Natwa, so that was also now belonging to Vijay Singh, and many of the camels were used to just transferring those things from that place to his village only. He returned much of it to the rightful owner, and he went specially to the old man, thanked her, that old woman who had given him the eccentric gifts, that egg and that lump of salt. So first of all, Vijay Singh went to that old woman only, and then he just thanked her and for the valuable gift. Definitely those were valuable for Vijay Singh for that time, and with the help of those gifts only he just got success, and he was able to prove his strength to in front of that ghost. So thenceforth, Vijay Singh was more careful about boosting. It is said that no travel was ever troubled again in the haunted desert. But yes, this was all about your this chapter. So almost our syllabus is covered. We had done all the literature chapters here. So definitely from the next sessions, either will continue with the grammar work or yes, your test will continue. Thank you.